Hey folks, Jim Cardos again in the fourth of a series of um, pieces I'm doing with regard to curing tinnitus. I've seen the literature out there. There's a lot of, oh goodness, different treatments from removing earwax to herbal supplements and all these kinds of things. That may help, and I don't want to say it's not, and they may actually, I think they'd be more of a placebo than anything else. Because again, you're not, we talked about the spider. If you have a fewer spiders, reducing it from that guy to that guy is not going to matter, right? You're not going to just lose the fear of it. The fear, which tinnitus is, of that sound, it doesn't go away just because you attenuate the sound. Your body will just kind of put a little more adrenaline on it and give you better hearing to be able to hear that sound. It's simpler than that. Again, we talked about if you have a fear of spiders, we don't go running around the world, hold international spider conferences and tell them, hey, you guys got to wear clothes. This whole, looking like eight-legged, bushy things running around. It's not going to work. You got to wear clothes. You got to get jobs. This whole thing, we got to get the spiders fixed. No, it's not the spiders. It's you. The tinnitus is not the sound. It's your reaction to it. It'll go away when you don't care anymore about it. And I'll use another example. My eyes, which used to be 20/20 back in the piloting days, and I think they're still close to it, but I can't read anything. It's right. The glasses on right in front of my face. I have a thing on the sclera, and it's just kind of like those floaters. If you know that every once in a while you get something on your eye, and it's just a floater. Well, I have that on my eye. Had it for a couple of months. Went to see a doctor. I have some small issues with the eyes. Not a big deal, but that's there. Now I could stress over that and say, oh my God, I'm going to have that thing the rest of my life. And that's the way I used to think about tinnitus. I thought about it when I was a kid. My friend's mom had it. I thought that's the worst thing you could have. You have this hearing, this ringing in your ears. And I could think the same thing with that, with that thing on my eye. I could always see it. I don't ever see it because I don't look for it. If I look for it, I find it. Tinnitus will be the same thing for you. If you look to hear the tinnitus sound, you can hear it. It's just the sound of your ears hearing. It's just that simple. Everyone in a noise-proof room will hear tinnitus. It's not the tinnitus. They'll hear the sound of their hearing. The tinnitus is our response to it. That's tinnitus. So again, not the initiating action, it's the response to it, which we talked about in the previous 3 videos. Okay, so how do we get this thing, without herbal remedies? And not that I love the homeopathic thing. I love those kinds of things, herbal remedies. I shouldn't be this way. I just don't like the snake oil approach to it, which I think, unfortunately, sometimes, and maybe it's folks truly believe this and it worked for them, and I think it'd be more a placebo. But what we're talking about here is straight on science. So it's how you would have gotten in, and explains the hyperacusis. You don't all of a sudden get tremendous hearing. You're not Superman. You can turn that on, your X-ray vision. It's because the adrenaline that's coursing through your veins. So I don't want to dissuade you from those. They can't hurt to try those things, but this is it is the cure. I hate to be that simple about it. It wasn't me. I pieced it together with the work, obviously, of Dr. Jastreboff and Dr. Weeks, first and foremost. So how do we get out of this thing? It's just simple the way we got into it. We got into it. Remember, remember the emotional language against this thing. It's annoying. I can't stand it. It's deafening. It's deafening because of the hyperacusis. How do we get that from the adrenaline? Because the limbic system is jumping around saying, dude, I'll help you. I'll listen for that sound. Even if you're asleep, man, I hear that sound. I'm going to wake you up, drop that, my handy dandy adrenaline on it, and you'll be ready to go. Heart's pounding, sweaty palms. So how do we get out of that piece? Simply by retraining ourselves. To say, get around panic disorder. We don't have to improve our hearing. All we have to do is retrain our limbic system, which cannot think rationally. Our cognitive brain, intellectual brain, will just tell ourselves, hey, bring the noise on. Bring it on. It's a friend. I love the sound of myself hearing. If I wasn't trying to hear, I couldn't hear, right? The tinnitus, the sound is a friend. When it comes on, float through it, as Dr. Weeks would say. Let it come. Just float through it. Don't get afraid of it. Don't know, here it comes again, okay? I know it's distressing, and I don't mean to be play like this. And it really is a distressing thing, but let it come. That's what we do with panic disorders. If you're in an anxiety state and panic disorder is the worst thing in the world, it's horrible. You're doing the thing that you least want to do, like let it come. Let it come, it can't hurt you. So with a little spider, we would do the same thing if you have a spider phobia. Or a clown, you might shake the clown's hand. There's just some people that might be crazy, but that's kind of irrational too. Like clowns, the goofy looking guys that jump in a Volkswagen, same kind of thing. Our emotional system, which can't think, doesn't know a lion from a clown. If we teach it that they're equal, or a spider, some of us react that way. So a little spider comes, on the scene, and man, the hair is on fire. Or a mouse. A mouse are the cutest little guys on the planet. People go berserk with those guys. So they scamper around. It's irrational. Doesn't make sense. My mouse can't hurt you unless he's got, like little mouse tripwires or something. But, it's a very smart mouse. So see that, all right? So see those things can't hurt you. Let yourself flow through these things. Float through them. What we're going to do here is our intellectual brain is going to retrain our limbic brain. Okay, we're gonna slip the master and servant piece here, and you have 100% control of this. Let that noise come. Hey, dude, I like that noise. I like it. The limbic system is going to say, hey, I thought we didn't like that noise. That's why I'm always on guard for it. So I always watching, because I'm always going to protect you. You're not malfunctioning, you're hyperfunctioning. I think I just read something that tinnitus was indicative on the web of some brain issue. And then I couldn't even stand to listen to it because I knew we were going to get to some drops you put in your ear. I don't want to be dramatic about this, but that's ridiculous. There's no brain issue you have with tinnitus. Your brain is completely functioning perfectly. Just like you want that early warning system if you stepped off the curb, when we talked about that, to step back on. You don't want to have to think about that. You're dead if you have to think about it. We want an automatic response. Step off the curb, car horn, whoop, back on the curb, we're alive. It's the same system. Tiger comes running down the road. Bad day for us, particularly we're out raking the leaves. Here's a tiger. We're not in India. It's amazing people in India have to live with tigers running around. Not a good thing. But anyway, tiger. I love tigers too, but not running around. You get my point. So tiger comes running down the road. We don't want to think, looks like a tiger. I kind of recognize it from the National Geographic special. Pretty much carnivorous. It's getting even closer, much faster, 500 pounds than I am. Probably a good time to run. Too late. You're dead, your neighbors are alive. You see a tiger, bam, you're kicking in. Your limbic system, which is always ready to protect you, it's ready to help you. You're not malfunctioning here. You're hyperfunctioning. You're doing great. Your body's like, hey, dude, I'm ready to go. As I tell people with who have anxiety issues, it's the same as when the adrenaline gets in your body, and it's like doing public presentations. You get all this adrenaline. Like, oh my goodness, your heart's racing. Your limbic system's like, dude, I'm trying to help you. You're like, no, that's the worst thing you could do. I'm trying to do a presentation, and now I'm just worried about surviving. I tell people it's like plugging a computer into 110 is US, putting it into like 220. Like really supercharging the volts in a computer. What's a computer going to give you? Well, fuzz and garbage, right? Computer's not broken. It's not broken at all. You just got too much power going into it. So what happens when this fight or flight response kicks in. So we're going to take that out of the hands of our limbic system with our tinnitus, and we're going to say, listen, when we hear that, we like it. We're going to look forward to hearing that. We want it to come. Don't fear it. Don't stop it from hearing. Using white noise, I get that if that's what you have to get through, or drugs or something. They're not solutions. They're just kind of temporary fixes, and they're not even a fix. We're masking. We're masking or reducing our ability to perceive, right? Let this sound come. We're going to do a little at a time. Like think of our spider piece, right? People, to train folks to get over their, an irrational fear of spiders, is to just kind of get a little close, get them in the same room to start with. Then maybe kind of, take a look, get even closer. Then maybe actually get a little spider, and just kind of let them walk on your hand. Ooh, a little goofy to begin with, but it's like, yikes. But now, not only are we in the same room, we're closer, we're letting them walk on us. Hey, that's cool. All right, well, maybe get a little bigger spider next time. And eventually, if you see these things, I remember watching this, people who are like afraid of the itsy bitsy spider are having, we talked about this, tarantulas walk on them. For instance, not going to sting you, and if they did, you could, or bite you, you're sick for 20 minutes, and it's not even, it's not even look at what they're looking to do. They're going to do that only if they're threatened, right? Makes sense, but that's how we would get through the same kind of limbic response, getting that tiger and bear out of there, or that car horn, or the spider, whatever, that tinnitus sound. We're going to get that response out of there, little at a time. All right, don't worry about failing back and being distressed about it. It's okay, but just see it for the emotional response that it is. You control your emotions, believe it or not. You control them. You don't have to hate that sound. Don't have to. And when you finally retrain your limbic system to not fear it, it'll go away. And you can hear it. I can hear my ears trying to hear it. That's not tinnitus. That's a hearing loss. Okay? Tinnitus is our response to it. It's 100% curable. 100%. You don't need to massage your ears. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. You don't need, some cure you drip in your ears. It just even sounds foolish. And I'm sorry again. I don't like the fear over what's over, with no physiological wisdom behind it. This is a simple piece, and this is the truth. I mean, I lived it. I've seen it manifest in so many different areas, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to have a series on panic disorder, OCD, how that's comorbid with panic disorder, and a few other things that I've experientially, anecdotal to my experience, and I don't know them like the back of my hand. I've lived them for 30 years and helped a number of folks locally get through this. And I should have been doing this a long time ago. I apologize for not putting this on the web earlier, but I thought for sure this was going to be solved. And it hasn't been because, there's only a few people focusing, it seems to me, in my little research on this kind of cure, as opposed to these homeopathic pieces. Again, let's restate it. The cure has nothing to do with the initiating event. It's not. It's just the sound. It's a big deal. Your ears are trying to hear. Your eyes are trying to see. Your taste buds are trying to taste. Your fingers are touching. We don't get all googly and say, "Oh my goodness!" Every time I touch something, my fingers are touching. That sense of touch is there. It's the same thing with your ears. Your ears are just trying to hear. See it for the emotional response it is. Frustrated, angry, sad, disappointment. It's all emotional. We break our leg. We don't become all emotional. We say to the doctor, "Can you fix this?" Sure, you've broken your bones will self-mend, but we have to set them and keep you off it for a couple of weeks and go to physical therapy. You'll be good to go. You got yourself into this situation. It didn't happen from extraordinary events in the world. It's something landed on you, and now you've got the tinnitus. But no, it's just your response. It's your emotional response. You're not malfunctioning. You're hyperfunctioning. You're working well. Body's doing exactly what you trained it to do. Now we're going to train it not to respond. And how do we do that? We float through it. We let the noise come. If you have to do that in stages, that's fine. Use it, if you're using white noise, turn that off for a little while, let it come. But think, hey, this is my friend. Think about the boogeyman when you were a kid. Think about, monsters being your friends. Think about floating through this. Let it come, let it come. And slowly but surely, and it won't take a whole bunch of time, you're going to retrain yourself to not fear it. And once it comes out of your limbic system, you're not going to put it back in. Why? Because you're not going to fear it again. Your limbic system will still hear that. It's not that sound goes absolutely away. You just don't attend to it. You don't, quote unquote, hear it because you're not looking to hear it. You're only hearing it now in such a dramatic proportion because it's in your limbic system and it's there as a threat, and your body responds to threats. It absolutely does. It's here to keep you alive. But you'll hear that if you look for it, but you don't look for it. Okay? Again, I've had this for 20 some odd years. Never an issue. Never an issue. I'm never worried about it. Never fear it coming back. Why? Because I understand the physiology of it. And again, it's no different than PTSD. It's no different than anorexia. I believe I can't prove that, and I'm not trying to prove it. But I think that the food actually becomes a fear item. A lion, a tiger, and a bear. Same as panic disorder. There's no question about that. So we just want to get it out of that system, okay? And just do it a little over time. Teach your brain to recognize. It's going to be recognized that sound as a friend. Hey, it's my ears trying to hear. That's cool. Thank God. Thank you, ears. Thank you, God, that I have ears to hear. And your limbic system will learn slowly, or maybe not quite so slowly. Maybe be fairly quickly. It just depends on how fast you can reprogram your limbic system to not fear this. Again, your limbic system is not rational, right? Your intellectual brain is rational. Limbic system is there to help you, but it's a brainless thing to say, hey, I'm going to help you any way I can, and you're training me. Should I fear spiders, clowns, or that sound of tinnitus? You train me. You can also untrain me. Okay, folks, that's it. Please leave comments if I missed something, or you send me a comment. I'll respond to you. We'll keep the dialogue going. I'm going to try to get better at these things to make them a little bit more palatable. I know this one's kind of long, and also more understandable. I'm absolutely sure about this as being the cure of tinnitus. It's not even a question in my mind. I realize that other people are positing that, but there's nothing I'm selling here. There's nothing you have to go buy, and you don't have to correct the sound. All right, if you want to try to do something with that, great. It's not about the sound. You don't have to eliminate the world of clowns. Everybody take makeup off because you have an issue with clowns or spiders. It's your perceptions that we have to change, and they're very easy to change. You have 100% control over that. Okay, so good luck. Please leave comments. I'll respond to them, and if any way I can help, if you have some things that can help me, hey, what about this? Maybe this can help. I'll absolutely be open to it. I know this absolutely works. Could something else as a placebo work? Yeah, of course it can. But it has to attend to these physiological facts. This is just 5 million years of evolution. I'm not making something up here. It's, and it can work 100% for you. Absolutely. The house by the side of the road, once you go past it, you'll never not see it again. Okay, that's once you get cured of this, you're cured for a lifetime. All right, thanks so much. Appreciate it. And again, leave your comments, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.